If you've looked at enough game critique, you've probably seen people talk about the length of a game or the amount of gameplay it offers in hours. This is particularly common in the collective shitpile known as Steam user reviews, but also in the equally terrible world of professional games journalism. It does make sense, considering people want to get a good bang for their buck. $50 for a game that only offers an hour of entertainment is a poor value proposition to say the least. But I have to say, the reasoning seems a little bit strange to me. It's like going to an all-you-can-eat restaurant and forcing platefuls of food down your throat even after your stomach is ready to burst into a gory explosion of beer, guts, and half-digested baked potato. Sure, you're getting more out of it, but is it really value-added if you're not enjoying yourself? Look, I understand no one wants to make a poor purchasing decision, but gameplay hours are a flawed measurement for the total utility or entertainment value of a game. After all, you probably enjoy some games more than others. An hour of playing a game you love is better than an hour of playing a game that's just okay, which is in turn better than an hour of playing a game that you hate. Now, if you've played a game for 40 hours, it's probably safe to say that you like it. But even if a game is advertised as having over 300 hours of gameplay, there's no guarantee you'll actually get that out of the game. Because I doubt there's a legal definition for an hour of gameplay, but that's not important right now. Saying you've logged over 300 hours into a game tells me that you like it, but it doesn't explain why. And saying that you like something with no explanation is pretty much worthless. I could say I love big rigs over-the-road racing and I've played it for over 300 hours, and you'd probably question my taste before trying out the game. Consider a completely hypothetical scenario of an awful, boring, bland piece of garbage game where the only gameplay is clicking a button. Pressing the button increases the score by 1 point and winning is achieved by reaching, 700 trillion points or something equally stupid. The point is that it would offer a hell of a lot of gameplay, but I don't think anyone would enjoy it very much. Most games aren't that simplistic, but the same concept applies. Many RPGs feature extremely lengthy campaigns. You could probably die of old age before beating some of them. But often the length is a result of gameplay stretching, increasing the amount of game hours by using things like excessive backtracking, grinding, filler combat, or good old-fashioned absurdly high difficulty. A lot of people, myself included, find these things kind of tedious and boring. Let's look at a real example this time. Dragon Age Origins is a game from BioWare, the folks behind dating sims like Mass Effect and Knights of the Old Republic. I found it pretty enjoyable for the most part, but it had some issues. One of the main problems was the repetitious nature of its combat encounters. This is particularly evident in the deep roads, where every encounter had such similar enemies I felt like I was intruding on some kind of Darkspawn family reunion. In a game with an emphasis on narrative and relatively weak combat mechanics, hours of fighting without many breaks in between is kind of monotonous. Yes, the filler combat increased the total number of gameplay hours they could put on the box, but that didn't add any entertainment value. In fact, you could argue that the additional gameplay reduced value by having a detrimental effect on the pacing of the storyline. And let's be honest, most people are playing BioWare games for the characters and plot, not the combat. We're not even considering the opportunity cost of the time it takes to play the game. The padded out gameplay may not be bad, but is it as fun as whatever else I could be doing with my time? With the sheer number of games out there, including many excellent free ones, the answer is probably no. I'd rather play Tyrion 2000 for an hour than grind in Final Fantasy XIII. Even if I would ideally progress the campaign of the latter, grinding isn't quite as engaging as advancing the storyline. Adding this sort of artificial length to an already lengthy game can also hurt completion rates. Just look at all the people who say that Final Fantasy XIII is a fantastic game once you get 30 hours in, which, let's be honest, most people don't. Players are already less likely to complete a game if it's long. So making it even longer and less entertaining relative to its length just seems backwards. Granted, some games are not about completion on the part of the player. Many an XCOM run have ended in failure, but most often the perpetrators of this kind of gameplay stretching are RPGs. Now, I'm not one of those bizarre sickos who thinks that RPGs are all about the story, but they do tend to emphasize the narrative. So it seems like a bad idea to reduce the chance of the player experiencing it in full. How often have you heard people talk about how much they love the story and characters of games like Final Fantasy VI or Planescape Torment? Can you imagine how many more people could enjoy these games if the former had less grinding or the latter had less filler combat? If a game can only be interesting for 10 hours, that's okay. A 10-hour box of consistent entertainment is better than 20 hours of fun and tedium mixed together in a garbage bag, as long as it's priced appropriately.